YouTube. You're on the Swivel at the Sportsbar. We're going to have our sports talk today. It's not a long agenda, but I have some good things I'd like to talk to you about. And we could explore it together. You know, it's this March Madness. I catch as many games as I can. I'm not really that into it like I used to be. NBA basketball still going on. And so there's things to watch. So welcome aboard. Anybody who's out there in the chat, put your name in there, and if you have comments, just fill in the comments. Hey, listen, go to my community tab and take that poll. I left it there. When you get this, even if it's on replay, go to my community tab, take the poll and vote on my poll. It's just about how I'm gonna configure my channel. Anyway, the other things as well is, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription and hit the notification bell, and just come on, hang out. Every Wednesday I'm here doing this sports talk. Sometimes some guys come up, sometimes they don't, but it's all right. It's a matter of just talking sports. Where everybody likes sports, so do I. Anyway, I'm always going to start with football because football's all year round, and we're getting ready to come up to the draft in April, and so now there's just free agencies and trades and all that kind of stuff, which is going to impact the draft. Well, we all know that. So I got a couple of interesting things I want to talk about, leading up to the draft and how it's going to impact draft. I mean, there's some other people who have opinion pieces about the number one favorite draft choice. Everybody's talking about Caleb, whatever his name is, Caleb. Everybody wants that guy as a quarterback. I think Chicago probably made a mistake by getting rid of Justin Fields. He was just getting ready to feel coming to his own, and now they're going to start all over. But hey, man, that's where the cookies crumble, and we'll see. Now, this guy Caleb he's a strange cat, man. So I'm not so sure what his leadership style is, but he might have a tough time in the NFL. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some other things as well. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit him next, I think. Right? Because Jason Whitlock has something to say about him. And he's really, really queasy about this dude. And I'm going to hit some of it. I'm not going to play all of this. But this is Caleb here in a dress, right? And, I'm not casting any dispersions or anything like that. But he got a dress on. He's going to be in a locker room full of men. And let's let Jason Whitlock and his buddy talk about how he thinks about this.
Be off of my .com/fearless. JB, I want to play you this video. It's very short. I think we have the video of Caleb Williams on the sidelines. Oh, maybe we don't have the video. On the sidelines, and he's flash. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he's waving his pink phone cover. The guy's got the painted fingernails. I think he's been in a dress. Now he's, I don't know. I don't know what to make of Caleb Williams. He would be off of my draft board. I just don't think this works in the locker room, in a football locker room. And I know how progressive and woke things have become, but I just don't see him as a leader in a football locker room. Just too feminine. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so allegedly it's his phone, right? We don't know if it's his sister, girlfriend, mother's. We don't know. I'm just going to try to stay on that one. All I know is this. What is it? I just have a problem. And I think it's generational, Jason. I think we're going to be the ones, we're considered the old ones on the porch yelling at the clouds. The ones that defend Caleb are going to be his teammates in that era. Generational age gap difference, I think, is the one that's the alarming one here. But the fact of the matter is, the coaches and the GMs drafting this kid are our age. And I don't see how they can see all the glaring issues that we've seen as a leader of men and draft him first. I don't see it. They made a glaring mistake in getting rid of Justin Fields on a Chicago roster that has gotten better. And now they're going to start all over with the unknown commodity in Caleb Williams. I just think they're making a huge, grave mistake. And I just couldn't do it. I can't do it. And I don't know whose phone it is. Don't care. The nails are painted again. I mean, it looks like he's got like lips gloss, something. But it just gives me some vibe that I just don't want my quarterback to have leading a group of men, supposedly gladiator men, in a locker room.
All right, so you guys get the point where we're going with this one, right? We don't have to go too much further. But, the lip gloss comment just got me. I mean, I don't know if he has lip gloss on or not. But listen, he's one of those obviously he's one of those metrosexual kind of guys who, wants to be ambiguous and mysterious and all this kind of shit. And I don't know how it's going to play in the locker room either. But, especially when he has to yell, curse somebody out, and get kind of up in one of these guys' faces for not doing their job. Can he do it? Now, remember he's a guy who he didn't finish the season because he's worrying about his draft status. So he didn't play in the bowl games. When they started to lose games and it was no longer going for number one, I think his heart kind of got out of playing the game. That's just the way I see it from afar. I could be wrong. But man, you had Justin Fields getting to go in his 4th, 5th year. And he had a pretty damn good season last year on a bad team. And if you couldn't see that this guy's coming along, you put some offensive linemen around him, give him some more weapons on the outside, and give him a coach that knows how to coach offense. I don't know. I think they made a mistake too. They should have kept him and just traded this number 1 draft choice to somebody else and got picks. That's what they should have did. So we'll see how that plays out, right? So I think they made a mistake, and it's going to come back to haunt them. So we'll see. All right. So what's next on the agenda here? All right. So this is the next thing, free agency. We're looking at the remaining free agents. I'm gonna share this thing because there's a whole bunch of them. I think it's getting long in the tooth. I think the real main guys have got to where they want to go. But we're gonna look at. I'm gonna stop sharing this, and I'm gonna share something else with you, because we're gonna talk about some of these free agents that's coming up. We can get to them. Right, there you go. Top free agents. That's what we're looking at. All righty. Let's scroll down. I'm gonna go, all right. Continue reading. Did I get the wrong thing? Well, that's all right. Let me stop that right there. Sometimes they mess up they mess it up. Or did I mess it up? It doesn't matter. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's supposed to be. Yeah, there it is. There they're talking about right there. Of course, here. Free agents that's still out there. Well, they had the first 2, but number 3, Dre Greenlaw, linebacker. Another guy, CB Ward, Deebo Samuels is still out there. That's something. They got too much crap on this thing. And, well, the way this thing is all set up, man, I don't like the way they have all these advertisements in here. But anyway, I don't like that. I thought it was a little bit more clear the last time, but I'm going to stop sharing this anyway. And let's go back to, hey, Trey, I see you. Don't worry about it. I'll get you in a minute. Let me go back. Let me go back to I'll be right with you, brother. I see. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, RP?
All right, all right. Hey, yes, I had this link, but I don't like the way it's working. But anyway, there's a lot of free agents remaining, so I was trying to see if I could pick out some good ones to look at. But the article I covered has too much advertising and shit all over it.
Hmm.
I don't want to navigate through all of that. But I mean, there's still some moves to be made. And I
Yeah.
think people are starting to get frantic because you want to get your
What?
free agency and stuff out of the way before the draft.
Right. I
So
will tell you, Javon Clowney signed with the Panthers.
okay, yeah, I was looking. See, I saw him in this article. They didn't have him sign with it, so he's with the Panthers, huh? Well,
Yeah,
how
he
many
signed
years?
today.
How many years he's been in the league? Over 10, right?
Should be close to about 10, 9 or
Yeah.
10, I was just thinking. So, yeah.
I mean, is some of the steam off of his? I mean, is some of the steam or whatever the bloom off the rose for him? I mean, he moved around an awful lot.
Texans, Seattle, was that Cleveland, Baltimore. Now he's on his 15.
Let me ask you this. What's his? I mean, I haven't looked at Trace's salary. What does his salary look like? Is it going up, staying the same, or going down? What was his contract for?
I didn't see anything about it today. Last thing we
Yeah.
heard, he received a nice little bonus for reaching certain goals last season, but they didn't say anything about his contract. So I'm sure it's a 1-year deal, a couple million, something.
I hope it's more than a couple million. But so I mean, that's kind of saying like you would figure that I guess his strategy is moving around to see what he can get from team to team. Because I mean, if he's really a world beater, wouldn't you think some of these teams would want to keep him?
Yeah, he actually signed 2-year, $20 million, possibly $24 million.
That's not bad.
Not at all.
With incentives, that's not bad at all. Shit, after 10 years, that's pretty damn good. Shit,
Not at all.
Now I know why he's moving around. He wants to, yeah, so that's good. Good for him, man. Because he's a good player. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the draft and see how that looks, when we get to it. So I'm man, football's all year round, right?
Pretty much. Right now it is.
Everybody wants football, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so listen, I just put this one up here, man, just to remind people on Sunday, man, the UFL starts. I'm doing my civic duty, letting people know that the UFL starts. Now, I never was into these alternative leagues. I never got into them. I mean, I watch the game here and there, but if it's not the real thing, I have trouble getting into it. I know, but you're the big football guy, so you watch some of these games, I'm sure.
I do not. I probably, over the last 10 years they've been trying to do it, I probably watched maybe one full game. I'm just not really into it in the summertime. Like I said, summertime I'm used to just being out in the streets, training.
No, I'm with you. So. No, I'm with you. I hear you. I mean, I'm surprised, but I think I shouldn't be surprised, man. I don't see after you at the mountaintop with the NFL, it's hard to look at anything else. At least for me, man. Especially like you said, during the summertime when you're supposed to be outside enjoying yourself, getting some fresh air, and waiting for
when the games come on. When the games play on Saturday?
It's on Sunday. March 30th. That's a Saturday. That's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. I think March 30th is a Saturday. Yeah. Nobody's stupid enough to do anything on Easter Sunday, which is the 31st. But I think they're going to play Saturdays. And this one is at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I probably miss most of those games anyway. Shit, I'm sleeping in. In the grass or something.
All right, so here's the mock draft. This one I think worked better for me because there's two competing guys, and so we could compare. I'm gonna have to share this, so bear with me for a second. I know you can't see it because I have to share it. All right. So what else is going on, man? You just hanging in there? Hanging out
Yeah,
on the
man.
YouTube, hanging out on the YouTube streets like me.
That's
You
it,
sneak-
man. Just hanging out and going from party to party. You know,
All right. Okay, man. Where's this? Come on. Let's don't. Where's it at? Where's it at? No, this is not it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. My link is not working. I'm gonna try again. Hold on. Bear with me.
okay.
Shoot. It's supposed to be CBS Sports. Why it's not working, man? You know what? When I first put it up there, it was working fine. It was working fine. You know, now it's gonna give me some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I had yeah, man. Sports.
So you get anxious.
You know, hey, listen, man. You know what? Sometimes things just don't work out the way you need them to work out.
Pretty much.
You know, so let me try this again, because as I said, I don't know whether they moved the feed or not. It looks like they moved the feed.
Oh, it's messed up. I think, do you hear an echo? Do you hear echo?
No, that's not an echo. I think that's some music in my background.
No, I know it's the music, but when I speak, do you hear echo?
Nah, it sounds good. It
Okay.
sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's not working, man. This is a football one this time, man. I even double checked it. I don't know why it's not working. I think they might have changed or moved the page, you know, and it's not coming up. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next one. Now we're gonna go into basketball, NBA talk, and I want to start with the fact they're trying to fix the All-Star game for next year. All right. And more people are coming to this realization that the only way to fix the All-Star game itself is to have the U.S. All-Stars play the international All-Stars. And that'll make enough pride in the game to make them play. You know what I'm saying? There's no doubt about it. So let's see what Stephen A. and his big mouth has to say.
Greek Freak and Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't hold back his comments this time. Giannis weighed in on Noah Lyle's comments addressing the NBA as world champions during an interview with 48 Minutes podcast. Quote, I want to back him up so bad. You know, he received so much backlash for saying the obvious. I don't think in any other sport you are called world champions. All right, so Stephen A., we've discussed this before on the show. Would you be interested in a Team USA versus an international NBA All-Star team in the All-Star game?
Yes, I would. I would love that. I would love that, particularly an All-Star game, because it's you're talking about an exhibition. You're talking about exhibition kind of competition, and I don't mind that at all. I think it would make the All-Star game very, very
fair use.
I think all NBA players have done a disservice to NBA the All-Star Sundays, because the game, you're not playing any defense. It's like a glorified layup line, for crying out loud. And I just don't think that it's been great, at least over the last couple of years or so. That's just my personal opinion. Don't get me started with the slam dunk contest. I think I've called for a national boycott of it, crying out loud. And I think that you should go from city to city throughout neighborhoods in New York, throughout the country, and find some of the best, have an NBA All-Star sponsor one of the teams. In other words, they don't have to actually participate in the slam dunk contest, but what they have to participate in is just cheering them on and coaching them, that kind of thing, and doing it that way. I think something like that would happen. But in terms of Giannis and what he had to say, here's what I love about it. He's basically frowning to some degree on this notion that America has that every time they win, it's a world championship. They're like, wait a minute, there's some of us that are better than y'all. And I love that. I love that bravado on his part. He's a former league MVP. He's a former champion as well. He's a champion as well. Take all of that into consideration. I like the fact that him and Jokic and Luka and others are there doing their thing in Embiid. Let's not forget the Reigning League MVP. Embiid, they're out there putting the NBA and the American players on notice. We think we better than y'all now. We think we got something to say about that. And I like it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Let him say what I did not like when he said he wasn't sure if he was going to re-sign the Bucks if they're committed to winning. That bothered me. The Bucks have done everything in their power. Middleton, giving a big contract, Lopez, everything else. That I didn't like about re-signing, but I have no problem with that comment. And Steve's 1,000% right about the All-Star game. Anything would be better than the thing they're giving to us now. The game is unwatchable. Anything that they would come up with to make it a little bit more entertaining and put a little bit more of a competitive aspect to it, I'm all for. So if they wanted to go world against the NBA for the weekend at the All-Star game, all for it. They have to do something about the event.
I agree with you, but my only issue is, how do you do that? Because a lot of
How do you do it?
are international. So then are they playing on the international
Yes.
team, or are they playing on Team USA?
You got to play in the international team. So that's, you know what? That's an excellent point.
Right?
That's excellent.
If you
Embiid,
don't do it that way,
Giannis.
the game is not going to be competitive. If the game is just about the players who are in Europe right now, the game's going to be. You have to put the All-Stars who are from Europe.
I guess, and that also creates intrigue with the U.S. So say there's U.S. fans that aren't familiar with the international players that aren't in the NBA. There will be some NBA players on the international team.
So you can have a mix.
So I like it.
It's a good idea. The NBA needs to do something about it. And Steve also, he's on today. Good job with the slam dunk, because that would be a good idea.
All right, so we can stop that right there. So I agree. We need to do something with the daggone league, and I think that's a good idea. So, what do you think about that idea?
It would be. I think it has some validity, but then you're gonna look at.
You got something in the background?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think it has some validity, but then you're gonna have to look at. Let's just take the All-Star game for this year. How many guys were on the All-Star teams that were not of American descent?
Both teams?
Yeah, both teams all together.
Maybe 5, maybe.
Okay, so you removed. I think most of them were starters too, right?
I don't know if they were all starting, but I forgot. It was around 5.
Okay, so we take those 5 off. Now we're gonna have one U.S. team, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we should have at least 17 U.S. players. Who do we choose out of those 17?
Well, that's something they'll work out. I mean,
it's
like also no. In the All-Star team, they always make a choice. Everybody can't make it.
But
So
what I'm saying, I think you choose the 24 best players to play, right? So if you take the foreign players and put them on another team, now you got some guys that are all-stars that won't make the team. And a lot of their contracts are predicated.
Well, not necessarily. It doesn't.
Their contracts are predicated, but they get contracts and stuff based on all-star games and all-pro teams and all of that.
Listen. If the only way you make the All-Star team is if you're one of the 24, but now it's 12 on 12, and you're not one of the 12, you just don't make the All-Star team. Right? I mean, that's it. If you're an American player or a foreign player, right? If you're an American player and at one point you had a chance to make it because it was 1 out of 24, the stakes just got higher. Now it's 1 out of 12. I think they may have 12.
So now you're gonna be in a position where you're gonna have to add foreign players who are not really all-star players.
Hold on for a second. The foreign team. Listen, the NBA has at least 12 really great foreign players. Yes, they do. I mean, if you go down team by team, some guys are foreign. Like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I think he's not an American.
He's from Canada.
Yeah, so there's a couple of guys who we might think are American. You got Shea Gilgeous.
He's an all-star. He's an all-star.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't. What you're talking about is competition. Who cares? You pick the best players on both sides. It doesn't matter whether.
But what I'm saying, you might have that top 5, top 6 foreign players that would be yes, but then when you start going down to the bench, it's just going to be mostly average players.
No, that's not true. There's more than 6 foreign players that are all-stars in the NBA. And it doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. You pick the 12 best American players against the 12 best foreign players, and let's see what happens. It doesn't, all the rest of the stuff you're talking about is not all-star like, because it's all merit in the all-star game. So like if I'm an American player and I would have made it if I was one of the top 24. Great. But if now it's only out of the top 12, and I'm not one of the 12, I just lose out.
They won't
And that's how that works. They pick up. That's how they work. There's no fairness in this. There's no fairness in this.
But
Yeah, so that's
it will never be that way.
And if the foreign players can't get 12, we're gonna just kick their ass until they get better enough. They get 12. If you only got 6 players and you're gonna play out 12, we're gonna tie you. Yes, that's how it's gonna work. That's how it's gonna work. That's exactly how it's going to work.
You have to. No, it's not going to work.
Yes, it is going to work.
They would never do that. They would never do that.
They absolutely will do that.
They would not start a game with 7 foreign players.
No, it'll be 12 guys. It'll be 12 guys on the team. They're just not going to be as deep. They're just not going to. Their team is just not going to be as deep as the American players, but there'll still be 12 guys on the team. You acting like the rest of these guys are not professionals.
But what you're saying is America gonna be blowing them out every year. That ain't competition.
No. Listen, anything is better than that shit they give us now.
Just raise the bonus. Raise the bonus.
The winning team get 50. Raise the bonus. It, man. They both
raise the bonus.
The winners make 500K.
You'll see better.
The bonus has nothing to do with it.
The
bonus, I mean, these guys are making 40. Let me tell you, what you gonna pay them $5 million a piece to play the game?
Nope.
Come on.
You can pay them. You can play the winning team $500,000 a piece. The losing team $2.
How much do you think they got now?
Not that much.
They got a lot of money for playing for winning. The money's the $500,000 is not gonna make these guys play better. You know what? I don't see why you can't. I'm surprised you never played on the team. Let me tell you, here's why I know this shit will work, right? I was an average basketball player, right? And there was an all-star team at one of the boys' club, all-star game at one of the boys' clubs. I wasn't on the team. The other team, all their players didn't show up, so they were just looking for guys in the crowd. They said, "Man, I know you know how to play, man. Why don't you fill out our roster so we can play the game?" Right, so I played with this all-star team, and I wasn't an all-star player, and we won the game. And I held my own too. So this whole notion that they can't go, if they can't go 12 deep, we can't have the game. It's just not true. So anyway, okay. So now I got one for you.
Only gets $25,000.
You could raise this shit as much as you want. They're not gonna make them play better. It's not gonna make them play better. You know what? You listen. If it was $500K a piece, maybe. But I don't think so. I don't think so, man. But I'd rather see the international against the U.S. against the international. I think that's much more intriguing because pride will be involved. I think pride will be stronger than money, since all of these guys are multimillionaires already. All right, so I'm comparing 2 coaches. I do my comparison thing. Doc Rivers and Eric Spoelstra. Doc Rivers, he coached 5 different teams. Spoelstra just one. Doc has been a coach since 1999. He has 1 championship with the Celtics. He won 1 Coach of the Year in 2000, and his record is he's got a 69.8 percentage point record. It's not bad. That's not bad, because but it was a long time since he won a championship. But that's why he keeps getting the job, because he got a 69 point something winning percentage. He gets his teams to the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra, 1 team. He won two championships. This was the LeBron years, but he went to the championship 4 years in a row. Where he has only 0.5 Coach of the Year because he shared it with somebody else. I forgot who it was. So I gave him a 0.5, and then his record is he got a 58.6 because he had a couple of bad Heat teams after the LeBron era. So. He's a decent coach, though. I just wanted to compare coaches. I know I compare players, but this time I wanted to compare coaches. What do you think about Doc Rivers, man?
I mean, I think his past coaching history has gotten him the job with the Bucks. I don't think he necessarily was a better coach than the coach that they let go, because shit, he didn't even get a whole season in. I only think he got before the All-Star break. They let him go. Plus, Milwaukee had injuries, so I don't think that they really wanted him to be the head coach. I don't know, Spoelstra, he's always in the hunt for the playoffs, even with the teams that he gets. He doesn't really have all-star caliber, top-notch player. Players that grow into that. Even with Bam Adebayo, he's grown into a nice player, all-star caliber player.
No, Bam would be on that all-star team, by the way. He would be on the all-star team.
No, he would not. He wouldn't make it.
On the all-star, yes, he would.
He wouldn't
be on the international team. Yes, he would.
Maybe the international. Yeah, he'll make the international team. They're gonna need him. They're gonna need him. They're gonna need him to fill that roster spot.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why. So he's going to be a fool. You think they're going to make a fool out of Bam Adebayo just because he ain't a first all-star? He can hold his own against all of those guys.
No, he can come off the bench. Yeah, he can come off the bench. No
That's
problem.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
They still need about 5 more.
You want to hang on to that shit for dear life, man. I know. That's funny, man. All right, so here's the new current power ranking. Boston's back on top with the, of course, they had the best record. Denver, Milwaukee, OKC. Miami somehow is not on there, of course, but the Orlando's on there. The Knicks are back on there, and so is Sacramento. And Knicks are doing pretty well now.
Yeah.
Even with their man being out. Pelicans are doing better than people give them credit for, so Stephen A. could stop picking on Mr. Chicken Wing. Zion Williamson. Yeah, he's having a very, very good season. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense for Stephen A. to continually just keep pounding the fucking guy, man. And so I think once they clapped back at Stephen A., he stopped. They really clapped back at him. So he calmed it down. And he should have, man, because it was a bit much. Anyway, so the power rankings change every week, but we're getting close to that. We're getting close to that playing thing. Some teams are going to have to look at it. There's the standings. The Warriors are right there on the precipice of being eliminated from contention if they don't hold on to that 10th spot. And the Hawks are right there also in the East. And I don't know if my man is back, the guard. Whatever his name is.
Who's Trey?
He's out, right? He's still out, right?
He's still out.
All right. So man. So I mean, it's kind of heating up, man. We down like less than 10 games? So 11 games left.
The team that surprises me in the West is Phoenix. I thought that they would be a little better over the last 20, 25 games because they had their big three. But the big problem with Phoenix is they all shoot.
Yeah.
They all ball hogs. You can't have 3 ball hogs. Ain't nobody playing no hella D. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying, being defensive. Everybody's a ball hog, so it's hard to win like that.
They could use Drew Holiday. They can use Drew Holiday on that team.
No, he would be obsolete with a team like that.
Well, no, he just doesn't need the ball like the rest of these guys.
But that's the problem, though. He has to be the facilitator. He would have to be the facilitator.
Yeah, well, he's a point guard.
Exactly.
This way. Yeah, so that these guys,
point guard.
He can facilitate the 3 guys.
No, but he won't get our pain. He won't get the ball that much. Devin Booker's gonna handle the ball for the most part.
Yeah, but make Devin Booker the number 2. That's where he belongs.
All 3 of those guys are James Harden in disguise.
That's true.
All 3 of them are.
It's true. That's why they're in 8th spot.
And they can slide because the Lakers.
And they can slide, man. They shoot. I mean, listen. It's bad enough they're gonna have to play their way into the playoffs, which is still, which they may or may not do it. But it's both. Look at, they got the Lakers there. I tell you, that playing series is going to be pretty good in the West.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be
I'm surprised the Kings are as low as they are after the season they had last year, and they pretty much brought back everybody. I'm surprised they're down as low.
But well, if you look at them, they're only 3 games in the loss column from the 4th spot.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying they up and down. It seems like they've been more this year.
They're up and down, man. They sleepwalking, but like I said, it's still a tight race from the 4th spot to the 7th spot. It's pretty tight, actually, to the 8th spot. Those are just 3 games in the loss column with only 10 or 11 games left. 3 games is a lot. I mean, 3 games could be a lot, but you get 1 losing streak in there, and now your position is definitely changed. So nobody like the Clippers are having an up and down end of the season, right? The Pelicans, you know, you're on pins and needles, make sure that Zion doesn't get hurt for whatever reason. And you know, the Mavericks are starting to pick up. By the way, they came from way down. When I say way down, they started getting hot later in the season with Kyrie Irving and Lucas are starting to play together pretty well.
Yeah, they've been balling lately. I think Dallas needs a big man. They need a 6'11", 7-footer.
Right.
Somebody
they had one, but he didn't get along with Luka, right? Or Porzingis.
No, we'll see.
Is Porzingis back with Boston? I don't know if he's back yet. Is he back?
He's back with Boston. Well, it seems like he's played 10 games. He's hurt a game or 2, but he's been a little bit more consistent. He's been playing a lot more inside this year, which is a benefit for Boston. That's why they winning so much, because he's not it seems like he's down low a little more, getting the rebound, putting it back in with a little more authority. So
yeah, man, hey, listen, man, he just needs to stay healthy for a few seasons in a row. He's not a bad player. He's not. So this is the time of NBA year I start to really, really get interesting, especially once the playing games start. I'm usually watching all those games. You know, I'm usually watching all those games.
It's intense. Well, you know, the teams that's supposed to be there, they starting to show, and teams that may not be there, they starting to show too.
March Madness. How much of March Madness you looking at, man?
Oh man, I try to catch as much as I can. You know, now it's the Sweet 16, so this is the tournament now. The tournament begins right now.
All right, you got. Can you still see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Shit, I can see as much as I can. Shit.
Yeah, man, I know. I hear you. Yeah, man, you're right.
It's my glasses.
But this is the woman. I mean, it's small print anyway. This is the women's league. I mean, this is the women's one. You know, and so we're down in the nitty gritty. I mean, a couple of good games. I mean, the UConn's playing Duke. That should be cool. And what's the chick? The chick is on Iowa, right?
Oh yeah,
Caitlin. So she's still alive.
Yeah,
she's playing Colorado. I expect her to win that game, and then she's going to either have to play LSU or UCLA. Most likely it'll be LSU. So that should be a good game.
Yeah. I'll tell you the star though. The breakout star this year is that young lady from USC. She the breakout star this year.
Yeah, she can't be more of a breakout star than Caitlin.
Yeah, this year Caitlin's been doing it for the last couple of years, but as far as this year,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, she's been balling though.
Hey man, you know, I tell you, man, like I said, I must start. You know, I haven't really been. It's hard for me to get into all this March Madness. I used to be like one of these crazy guys, had like 6 or 7 brackets and shit. You have money on 2 brackets, a couple of brackets just for fun. I would put money into those damn pools and see if you can get a perfect bracket for $1 billion. You know, and you know now, man, it's like the roses come off the broom for everyone, or the broom off the rose for me. But once we get to Sweet 16 and below, then the interest goes up for me. You know, it's gotta be a reason for me to watch. You know, but I'm gonna check out this. I might try this. Hopefully, Iowa can get past. Well, this game they're gonna have against this team, but I think they'll win that game. But the LSU UCLA, if they play one of those teams, I'm gonna make sure I watch that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I think right now the next how many games got 4 on each side? This weekend is gonna It's gonna be a few upsets. I give it at least 2 to 3 upsets this week.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. Shoot, of course, man. You know, and my wife's birthday is on Saturday, so no matter what, I'm gonna miss something. Hey, man, let me tell you, man.
I might not see you on no YouTube streets this Saturday.
No, I won't be on YouTube streets this Saturday. At least not early. For most of the day, we're going out to eat, and I gotta give my wife a break because she's still working at the church, and they're working her, man. You know, because she's like their whole administrator for the whole church, and so they're working her, and it's a labor of love with her. Because I wish they were paying her for all the work she does for them.
You had to go talk to the pastor.
The pastors. Yeah, well, you know, I pray for him. He just had some serious surgery, so hopefully he'll be okay. But no, I mean they're paying her, but it's not a wage. I mean, she gets Social Security, she's gonna get that, but you know, it's like spending money. You know, she couldn't live off of that shit. But she does a lot of work for them, so and it haggles her, man. You know, so you know, I don't give her a whole lot of stuff because this is a labor of love. You know. All right, so the men's game, you know, so that's another thing. The men's game is heating up too. So what's the game I want to see on this one? Creighton in Tennessee, Clemson, Arizona, UConn and San Diego. So I mean, UConn probably win that game. Illinois and Iowa. North Carolina and Alabama. Got North Carolina in that one. I got Clemson against Arizona. I got Duke beating Houston. Got Marquette. Hopefully they stay alive. Brother went to Marquette. Gonzaga will probably stay alive against Purdue, which is Purdue is number 1. So
they got Houston going to the Final Four.
You think so? Yeah, well, I mean, they could, man. It'd be a resurgence for them, right? I mean, when's the last time Houston was really? I mean, you know what? Let's just see if the lights are not too bright for these guys now that they playing Duke and the refs. Just to, you know the refs going to give Duke at least a call or two, or is that was just for Mike Krzyzewski?
I mean, it's the first year without him. Yeah, I think they're doing pretty good. It's going to be a game though. It's one good thing about the NCAA. Most of the games on mutual courts.
Yes.
So when you're on mutual courts, it's just who can put the ball in the hoop. That's what it comes down to.
That was always one of the things I really liked when they broke them up into regions and they just moved people around the regions. But of course, all regions weren't created equal depending on where they put you. You know. So they were supposed to be, but they don't necessarily work out that way. But I don't know, man. So it's just interesting, you know. So it's going. So other banter, like I always have, coming close to the end.
Who's this?
Kevin Porter.
Oh,
Kevin Porter.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter beats up his girlfriend in a hotel.
Just the latest incident for KPJ, as he's known around the NBA.
His girlfriend and left her with at least one broken bone and bruising.
This unfortunately appears to be a recurring theme on this YouTube channel. Young men with tremendous potential making life-altering decisions that, without a doubt, ruin their lives. And honestly, in the case of Kevin Porter Jr., I think his story is the saddest because
he's been in trouble his whole career.
As a person, he was really putting himself in a great situation for life as a person. And it seemed like within an instance, at least because of these allegations levied against him, his career is over. So before we get to the content, I just want to let you know the contents of this video are very graphic in nature. So it's probably going to get demonetized. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to support the channel, I appreciate that.
We don't have to go no deeper. Okay, so Kevin Porter, from his little short stint in the NBA, has been tumultuous. His first team, I think it was Milwaukee, somewhere. He played, and they kicked him off the team, pretty much gave him away to Houston because he kept getting in trouble. He got in trouble in college. And now, here's the thing that I don't understand, Trey. Somebody's got to explain to me. Now, he's innocent until proven guilty, but he's already left evidence that it's hard to say that you're going to give him the presumption of innocence when his girlfriend has a broken vertebrae in her neck. And she's screaming down the halls, bleeding and crying from a hotel room that he was in. It's hard to say, you know what, he's got to get his day in court, you know, blah, 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 which is true. But when the chick is all bloody and about, you know, she certainly didn't do that shit to herself. You know, and I'm sitting down here and I'm thinking, what? No, first of all, let me say something that could get me suspended from ESPN, right? Like Stephen A. You know, I wonder what she did to precipitate that particular whatchamacallit. And even if she said something, even if she did something, you know, it doesn't warrant that kind of response. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how she made you feel at the time. What would make a big dude who's what, at least 6'6", maybe 240 pounds? I don't care what. And she used to play for the WNBA. What would make you haul off and beat your woman so bad that you break a bone in her neck? I'm trying to. I mean, I'm sitting down here thinking, what the hell? What kind of relationship? What could she really say to you that you're that far on the edge? You know, I mean, first of all, he's done. He's done in the NBA, period. He's never getting back in. He's done. He's definitely done on Houston, but I don't care what happens to him. He's going to jail. You know, anyway, he goes, some of these guys, man, you know, I just don't understand the level of mental breakage that's in these guys' heads to make them go off on women like that. You know, because you figure if you have a girlfriend, right? If you think that you actually like the chick, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Anyway, man. So I don't know what else to say about that. Let's go. I got one more. I think one more slide here.
Listen.
Go ahead.
You listen. You correct about everything. I got 5 sisters, and you know, and I've been dating since I was 14. And the one thing that I knew, it was just in me that I wasn't gonna hit no girl, regardless of how mad she made me.
Yeah.
She made me mad. I just leave her ass alone, get away from her, run from her, whatever. You can't run faster than me, so I'm just gonna run away. I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I'm losing my life over a girl who probably said something to piss me off, or you know what I'm saying? It's just not worth it. But
it's great. But let me tell you, you're right though. But the truth of the matter is, isn't it really true that the only person who can really piss you off emotionally really is a woman? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they sometimes they got sharp tongues. Sometimes they say stuff, you know, just to get you and shit like that. So by the time you become an adult male, you should understand that sometimes it's just in a woman's nature to get under your skin. Even the ones who love you, and the ones who love you the most can get under your skin the deepest. You know, they don't do it. They don't do it all the time or nothing. But if they slip up and say something, you can't just be having like, oh, if you say that to me, I'm gonna slap you in your mouth. And even if she's, huh?
I said, but you got to look at the upbringing of a lot of these guys.
Yeah, they've been brought up like women.
Right. And so they argue back with women just like they would a man. They ready to throw hands. Not granted, listen, no woman should be putting their hands on you. But her putting her little hands on me and hitting me on my shoulder is totally different than me cocking back like Mike Tyson and down there breaking a bone in her face. You know what I'm saying? So
it's incredible. Okay, so here's here's another brother who's lost his career and everything over not being able to handle a woman. You know, which is sad for him, but he's gonna get what he deserves if he's guilty. So this one is the Utah basketball team.
Communities are the United States of America for such horrific acts.
So they're in a hotel in Idaho.
Basketball team said that they were harassed in downtown Coeur d'Alene
last week. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Creme 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Henry.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Creme 2 has been in Coeur d'Alene all day digging for more information about this. Many community members tonight are condemning that hateful act aimed at the University of Utah women's basketball team and asking for witnesses to come forward.
The police report describes what happened in public on a busy street in downtown Coeur d'Alene right after the Utah women's team arrived in town.
The team was so shaken, they actually left Idaho and came to a hotel in Spokane.
Well, today, everyone from community leaders to the governor and university officials are condemning what happened, saying racism, bigotry, and hatred have no place in Idaho or anywhere else.
Racism is real, and it happens, and it's awful.
That's Lynn Roberts, the University of Utah head women's basketball coach, last night following their game against Gonzaga, where she described racist acts against her team while they were staying in Coeur d'Alene last week.
And it was really upsetting, and for our players and staff to not feel safe in an NCAA tournament environment, it's messed up.
A day later, we're getting a clearer picture of what happened. In this police report filed with the Coeur d'Alene Police Department, it states that last Thursday evening, the team had gone out to Craft It, the restaurant, sharing with us this video of the team walking in and later back out. The report states, at approximately 1800 hours or 6 p.m., 2 lifted pickups were revving their engines and speeding by the team as they walked down Sherman Avenue. It continues. The trucks then turned around and came back toward the team and yelled the N-word at them, as many of their players are African American, and that the incident caused a well-founded fear among the players. The next day, the team left Coeur d'Alene.
So that's enough of that, but you get the picture, right? I mean, well, Coeur d'Alene is a pretty name for a town in Idaho, but you get. I don't blame the sisters. You're in a strange land. You don't know nobody. Strange land, strange town. You don't know whether these are violent racists, because I mean, sometimes in these podunk towns, these guys actually get physical. So they didn't know whether they would get out those trucks and actually come up to them, and they pretty much would be defenseless against men coming out of the trucks, and they probably all strapped with guns and shit. So I could see the ladies being a little bit nervous. They lost the game. I don't know if this happened before or after the game with Gonzaga. Sounds like either way they were going to be kind of shaken up about it.
Oh yeah, I think when events like this happen, I think it puts a stain on the NCAA because.
Why do you say that?
Because that teams are moving across the country, teams are going to places where typically wouldn't be a whole lot of blacks.
Right.
That are still in the limelight, and they don't provide enough security with these females as they do the men. They don't, you have to really, especially in today's climate, as we get closer to the election, you're going to see a lot more of these incidents happening. And that's all it would, and I would hate for somebody to lose their life before they act on it. Because I guarantee if it was me, you, and Nug rolling past, we'd have got pulled over 2 blocks later.
Probably. And rightfully so. We were doing something stupid.
But that's what I'm saying. Right. So it has to be across the board the same.
I agree.
Thing, so it's just sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Okay, so I don't know. You watch baseball too? I'm not a big baseball guy.
Yeah, I'm a baseball guy, man. I play baseball. I like baseball, man.
Oh, yeah, you are, man. You into all this stuff, man. My man Ohtani, this guy, man, his guy rips him off.
The interpreter, yeah.
With a huge gambling scandal swirling around him and specifically around his interpreter. Listen.
Thank you very much for coming. I wanted to be here today to be able to talk.
Fair use.
I'm sure it was very tough. It's been a tough week for fans and team officials, and I'm very grateful that the media has been patient in this. Just on a personal note, I'm very saddened and shocked that someone who I'm trusted has done this. So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
That's obviously Ohtani and an interpreter there, a different interpreter than the one who was fired last week with these allegations of stealing money, basically, of illegal gambling. So Ohtani, remember the big question for Ohtani, was this money stolen from him? Did he lend it to his interpreter? Ohtani is making clear tonight that it was stolen. He says his interpreter has told lies. I want to bring David Noriega in, who is joining us now.
Well, we don't have to go further. Now, what do you think about it? Do you believe Ohtani or not?
Man, it's hard to say, man. It's probably some more underlining things that's not being revealed. It's hard to say, you know.
What do you mean by that? What do you think he would be hiding?
I mean, this guy's close to you. How would he? Okay, if he's actually gone and stole your information, yeah, but he's close to you, so y'all spend a lot of time together, and
right.
He really doesn't have a lot of time to take care of a lot of business, so. He may have given him access to it. He may have promised to pay him or not. It's just you would never know the full story. You just would.
Well, that is true. That is true. I agree with that. I have a feeling, but we've heard it many and many a times. People trusting guys close to them with a lot of money and not really looking over their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens all the time, man. What people don't know, you can't trust people in that fashion. That's why all of these dudes who are making this kind of money, it should be mandatory that you spend a year learning finances, how to handle your money, how to trust people, but verify. And you should never give anybody power of attorney over your money. At all. Nobody should be able to touch your cash without you, with double verification and all that other shit, man. Come on. So you can't just, so I believe him. I believe him. I believe this guy took advantage of him. And you know what? And by now he should learn a little bit of goddamn English.
$500 million worth. You should.
Yeah, man. Get somebody. Hire yourself a big titty, English teacher, and so at the very least you can look at her for hours while she's teaching you English.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Some fine, sweet thing who's a good English teacher, with the glasses and a short dress on, man, teaching you. No, not that word. This word. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking box. EOX, come on, man. It's no excuse. No excuse. Anyway, of course, boxing is coming up to schedule. Ain't nothing new, but that was my last slide, man. That was going to be a quick one today anyway. So, I appreciate you coming up, man, so we could chop it up a little bit. There's never any shortage of stories in sports, man. You can always look, this is my 17th episode, man.
Man, you grooving out here, man. You doing your thing, man.
Well, you know what? I got a couple of things. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. You know what we're gonna talk about on Monday? I got my thing. I sent it to Black Man Unfiltered. Monday, we're gonna be talking about the presumption of innocence in the age of social media and a court of public opinion. Is the Fifth Amendment still viable? Okay. Yeah. So I think that would be something to talk about, because right now, man, most men certainly are convicted before they get a day in court. Losing jobs, losing money, losing everything. So I want to talk about that on Monday, and one more thing, I'll give you an exclusive. I whipped out my old wedding video, VHS, man.
Okay,
so I had it digitized. I just got finished editing it. I'm gonna get permission from the wife, and I'm gonna put it out on social media, because I always talk about I'm always couched as the married man and shit. And I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna give people a peek at my wedding. What transpired that day.
Got you.
So I don't know when I'm gonna release that, but I think I am. You know, I'm gonna get my 2 or 3 views on this shit.
2 or 3 views. Come on, man.
2 or 3 views on it, and and just move on.
Yeah.
But
I mean, man, listen, man, some great topics, man. Hey, I'm gonna support you, man. Like I said, man, you doing your thing. You fighting the wolves as best you can. Being a boomer, keep fighting their ass. I'm gonna support you all the way to the end, man.
I appreciate that, brother. Well, I see you got your channel up and running, man. I know you could, you go do a few things. Hey, you got the other show coming up,
man. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Again, man, I'm gonna be there Monday, man. I'm gonna see you out here in these streets, man. Late night.
And so think about the topic. If you have anything on the topic, just bring it up, man.
Okay, congratulations on the weekend. Tell wife happy birthday, man, and keep doing your thing, brother.
Yep, later, man. Appreciate you coming up, man. Take it easy.
Peace out, bro.
Right. All right, so that's another edition of On the Swivel at the Sports Bar. And listen, there's a lot of it's really unfortunate about the brother doing really stupid things to lose his career. You hate to see it, but it just happens. Kevin Porter, how many opportunities, how many chances should a man get before he completely implodes? And now his time has run out. And I do believe Ohtani, I don't think he actually would blow his career gambling on sports. He's the one thing you don't have to know English to know is you can't bet on baseball or anything else. So with that, everybody, on the swivel at the Sports Bar, Art Payne here, marriage, politics, and sports, over and out.